everyone, welcome back again. And of course, if you're new here, I hope you enjoy what you are seeing and I hope you enjoy this DIY also and make one for yourself. What we're going to use for today's DIY, we are going to use our tumbling tower blocks and we use the smaller blocks. And I always say make sure that you have 4 until 5 packages laying around in your stash, then you always have enough for each DIY. I have here my container with everything inside. Just make your own container with everything you use. Of course, the most important is of course the wood glue. I have a simple brand wood glue, but choose anything you like. I have of course for today my ruler. I have my paint and this is just an example. I don't know which color I will use. I see that later. And I have here my old saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet to wipe away the glue. So these are the main pieces we need for this DIY. What we're going to do, we are going to make a tray. But of course we're going to give it a little bit of the twist of the Easter. So we will see how this will turn out. So the first thing I did, I printed out my print and what I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use the Easter bunny, and what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use the whole piece. I'm only going to use only the top piece, so like this. So I'm going to cut it out, and first I'm going to give you the measurement of my bunny. Of course, it is kind of we call it A4. I don't know how you call it in English, but at least my bunny is 28 centimeters long. So 20 centimeters long, and in inches he is, I think he is 11.5 inches long. So 28 centimeters and 11.5 inches long. And in the wider side, he is, I think, his feet and the ears, I think 16 centimeters. Let's just take it a little bit more bigger. 16 centimeters. 16, and in inches it will be, now I think, go for 7 inches. If you have a picture or a silhouette, just make sure that you stay inside of those measurements, then all the blocks are fitting nicely. So I'm going to cut this one out. So, and you see already I did cut out my bunny, and of course in white you can see him even better. It is just a simple one. I googled on Google. I googled on Google. But of course, what I did, I told you in a moment, I told you the measurement. But of course, I told you the measurement of my bunny in completely. But that is not the question because we're going to fold it in half. We're only going to use this part. So you see already this a proof that I make it on the spot, that I don't have any clue in front of what I'm doing. So I'm going to measure again and I'm going to give you the centimeters first. Is from here until here is, I think we go for 20 centimeters long. So if you have a bunny part, only 20 centimeters long. And the wider side will be, of course, from a little bit over here until this one is 16.5. And in inches it is, I have to look for in inches, it is almost 8, not totally, yeah, I think it is 8 inches in the length. And of course in the wider side it is, I have to measure a little bit over here. This way, he will be 6.5. So if you keep within this measurement, your silhouette you are printing out, then you are totally fine. Maybe you can even draw it yourself. Maybe you are a great person who can draw, then do that. Of course, I'm not. So I'm going to place this aside and I'm going to place it in front of me. I'm going to get my blocks. And you see in a moment how many we need. So you see already in front of me I have 4 rows of 9 and I'm always measuring it out before I'm going to glue it. Measure out if I have it correctly. So I place this on the underside. You see already the ears is fitting, only this ear is not fitting. But I'm not going to do a total row of 4 again for the ear. I'm just going to place one block and I'm looking for, and now he's fitting totally on top of my frame, and it doesn't cost me all the blocks, or else I have 3 extra. And of course you always have to be how you call it, you have to look for that you don't use too much you don't need, because the rest you always throw away. So I'm going to go, so we have 3 rows of 9 and 1 of 10. So now I have on my table, I lay them flat on my table, I do them in rows of 9, 9, 9, 10. So again, we do some glue on this side, and we row them very easy together until one piece, because we want that it is drying very nicely, because this we're going to use to saw out our bunny. And you can make your tray anyway. You can make it with one bunny, but you can also do them on each side a bunny. So you can make the tray any way you like. If you think it's too much blocks, then you don't do one bunny, and you do it just on the back side of your tray. But so you can change it up any way you like. I'm still debating if I'm going to do it on the back side or if I do on each side one bunny. I think I'm going to go for the last, because I love the bunnies, so I always love to make them. So this is already the 3 of 9. Now we do the 1 of 10, and he will be on the second row, but you see that in a moment. And the last blocks, and then we are going to squeeze them together. Just start from the inside, especially if you have a long row, or else everything is dropping out, and that's not what you want. I had it already so many times, even on camera. I always show you everything I do, so it's always possible that things are flying around. I had it last already also in a DIY, so don't worry about it. Wood glue is so forgiving, you can easily fill it in again. And always at the end, give it some pressure at the outside. Now we're going to wipe away the glue. Just go over it, and over here, and over here. And on this one, go back, make sure that you have a straight line. If you are using a carpenter square, you don't have to do this, but I always do it out of hand. I'm going to let this dry in, and of course, always, if it dries in a little moment, just move it to the side and place it straight up. Clean your mat under your piece and place it here, and also wipe away the other side. So again, move it, place it straight up, and again, clean your mat, place it down, and do the back side. That's also you have to do with every DIY, or else everything is sticking together. So again, this way. And now we do the last also. Move it, clean your mat, place it upside down, and again clean it, and then go back and make sure that you have still a straight line. So now I'm going to place this second row for this 1 of 10, and this one will be over here. So we do very easy. We place this one on the side. We do some glue on the top. Make sure that every block has a little bit of the glue. You place this one over here, and you place this one against here and over here, and make sure that you give it a nice press like this. Make sure that everything is in a straight line on the side. Now we're going to place this one straight up, and we do some glue on this one, and we place this one also over here. And you see now, so one is sticking out, and that's the part of his ear. At least if you have a bunny like me, maybe you have a bunny with the ears just straight, then you don't have to use this one. Then you have enough on this. So again, we're going to make sure we're going to squeeze them and fill in the open gaps, because we don't like open gaps. Fill it in. Because the top is not important if it's straight, because this will fall off when you're going to saw it. And again, squeeze it, fill with your fingers, and wipe away the glue. And this is already one, and now we're going to do, I think I'm going to go for a second and yes, you see already I chose for the second bunny, because I like my tray that it has on each side. tray. Yeah, it's kind of a tray. You can also use it as an organizer. I say tray, but you can also do it in your kitchen or maybe on a dresser. You can place it and do some other things on top. You don't have to do to use it as a tray. So you can use it for anything. Maybe in your hallway to do some keys on top and some little figurines. So you can go all the way with this one. That's why I think I chose for both of them. So on each side a bunny, but you see that of course in a moment. So that's why I'm going to do again 3 rows of 9 and 1 of 10 to make the other bunny also. So, and this is the last one. And this way. Let me know in the comments down below if you are enjoying the tumbling tower blocks DIYs, because I see recently, of course, at least on this channel, on All About Christmas, it is that I get my subscribers, of course, it goes up, but I see that not a lot of people are always coming back. I have, of course, amazing friends here, but I can see that the line is going down, and of course it is not a problem, but of course I love to make DIYs for lots and lots of people. So I always am thinking, what is people subscribe, but later they don't come back. I don't know why. Maybe they don't like what they see, but in the comments everyone enjoys what I make. So I'm really a little bit curious how it is possible that the line of views are going down and of course the subscribers are going up. So I'm really a little confused what the problem is and how I can reach more people. But of course I am enjoying the tumbling tower blocks and the step by step. Maybe that is the problem, that I do it step by step. It takes longer of your time, at least not the DIY itself is mostly around the 30 minutes, but of course it's a little bit more time consuming, if I'm correctly saying this. But of course, I don't know. Let me know if you're still enjoying it or if you only watch once in a while. So I'm going to now do the back side also, but I will bore you with that. So again, I'm going to turn the second one over here and this one over here. We do the same procedure we did with the other one. We do some glue on the top. We do some glue on this one. And we place this one on this corner. This one over here. And we place this one straight up. Like this. And we place it down. And now we're going to give it some pressure. We're going to turn it to fill in the open gaps, because we don't like a lot of open gaps. Like this. We're going to squeeze this. Oh, you see already, I think he likes a little bit more glue over here. So I'm going to place this one in and make sure that everything is glued nicely together, because that's what we want. We have to be sure that one side is straight. The top is not a problem, but the underside has to be straight as can be. And we're going to fill it in and work with it as long as you are satisfied how it is looking like, because no one can tell you how it's supposed to look like, because that's your idea. So always work as long as you are happy. Now we have 2 of our pieces and we're going to let this dry at least for 1.5 hours. So first what we're going to do, we have now 4 rows of 7 and we're going to make the bottom of our tray. So 4 rows of 7. So we do the same. We do some glue on the side. You lay them flat on the table like this. And this is number 6, and number 7 is of course the closure up. There, that's always the one you don't glue on the side. So again, number 4, number 5 and number 6. And now we're going to do this one. And of course, this bottom you also can make at your own taste. I only give you an example, but you can change this one also up any way you like. Of course, I should have glued this one and this one. and the last. And I only show you what I like, or what I like, what I think, I hope you like also. But always, I can't say it enough, change it up any way you like, because some people have gold in their home, some people silver. You can spray paint it in the color you like. Maybe you are liking bright colors. So the ideas are endless. I only give you the base. And I see already that I think one of my blocks is much smaller than the rest. I think there are two which are much smaller. You see already over here, these two are much smaller than the rest. So I'm going to look for if I'm going to pick them out, or maybe I can work with them. But I think I'm going to pick them out because this is a little bit too much. I place this one over here, get 2 new blocks, do some glue on this side and on this side, place it in. And I do here the same. And this one, and we're going to look if this is fitting a little better, and it is. And now we get a nicer piece in the bottom, because the bottom you are really seeing. So we're going to wipe away the glue also over here. I'm going to do the back side also and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So now we're going to get our 4 pieces. We turn them this way like this, and we have still our pieces we were too small for on the outside, which I took out. What I'm going to do some glue on this one and on this side. I'm going to place this one over here, and I'm going to get another one. Not this one yet, I do that later. And I place this one on this side. And now I'm going to gently fill in with this one. I'm going to fill in the pieces like this. And if everything is correctly, you get a nice little cute square on this side. We're going to wipe away the glue. We're going to get now 2 blocks. We do one over here, one over here, and we place this one over here. We do here the same, and this one. Fill it in on this side, and if everything is correctly, you fill it in with this one, and again squeeze it. Fill in the open gaps as much as you can. And now we're going to get this one, but we did this one on this side, and we're going to do this one on this side. Over here. And we're placing it here. And now we do the last over here. Ooh, and you see already, place it down on this side and fill it in with this one. Again. Fill in the open gaps, and of course this one needs to go a little back because he's a little too much on the front. Fill it in with this one over here and on this side, because you don't want too much open gaps. And feel with your fingers if everything is in the shape you want to have it. And now I'm going to let this rest for at least an hour also. So now we're going to place our bottom on the side, also over here, and we're going to do the a kind of a box idea on top of here, because we have our bunnies on the side. So we are going to start with 2 rows of 7 blocks, and also again flat on the table. You row them very easy together this way, and over here, and this is the closure up, and now the last row. And then we are going already have our sides. And again, we're going to squeeze them from within and then to the outside. And you see already he wants to come up, but we don't give him the chance, at least not this time. I was watching attention, so he didn't have the chance to pop up. So I'm going to wipe away the glue. Again, squeeze it on the side. Wipe away your mat and turn it over and do the back side. Place it straight up, place it down, and again also make the back side clean. And we're going to give this a couple of minutes. So now we have 2 rows of 16 blocks, so 2 rows of 16. It's a lot because that's the back side and the front side, and that's a long piece because we of course is a little bit of a longer tray, not a tray which is square. but I think you call it a rectangle shape. So that's what I'm going to go for, because I can place it better in my home. So again, number 15 and number 16 is the closure up. And this way, and of course I always love decorating with trays. It gives, for me, you can do a lot of pieces on a tray, and it even looks like it is neat. At least it is, it doesn't give a clouded, cluttered feeling, because it always, everything you have in your tray. And I always love to do a lot of memories on my tray. So, but I don't know how you decorate your trays, but I love the memory pieces always inside. Of course, with the 16 blocks, make sure that you squeeze it from within, because this is very easy that everything is popping out. Again, squeeze it. And again, we're going to go over here and give it some pressure. And now at the end, it is tricky, I know, it is tricky to squeeze on the outside. And again, this way. And with this one, it's also tricky. Just move it and place it with 2 hands straight up. You have to do it fast. If you do it slowly, it really falls apart. And it is also not a problem. Just glue it together again. It is really no problem. And again, I'm going to go for back, make sure that I have a nice straight line over here, and I'm going to let this rest for a couple of minutes. So you see, I have now on my table 1 of 16, 1 of 16, 1 of 7, 1 of 7 here, and now I'm going to get my bottom, this one. So I'm going to place this one down over here. What I'm going to do some glue on this side, over here, and of course a little to the side over here. If I have to think if I do it right, place it straight up. No, I'm not going to do it right. Of course, this one needs to, I can here move away the glue. So you only do some glue on the underside. You do here the same, only on the underside, and you place it straight up against here. You place this one straight up against here. Make sure, if you give it some pressure, do it on the underside and feel with your fingers that you stay in the line. Now you're going to do this one, but you do some glue on this side, on the underside, and to the tops over here. So be sure that every piece has a little bit of the glue. You do on this side the same. You do the tops over here, and again you go make a line under, and you go up this way. And now we're going to place this one straight up and against here. And if everything is correctly, you have a little bit of overlay, but it doesn't matter. Just squeeze it on the underside, give it some pressure under, not to the top, also over here. Give it some pressure this way, and then we're going to let it dry in for at least an hour. So in the meantime, while our box is drying, I'm going to get one of the pieces where we're going to place our bunny up. I'm going to get my bunny, and I'm going to get my pencil, and I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to cut my piece out. Of course, I'm going to place this one over here, because I don't do the whole bunny. So I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to draw around the lines of the bunny. And this is of course optional. You can do any shape you like, just what you printed out on Google, or maybe you draw it yourself. So I'm going to get the ears, and this way I'm going to go over here. Later I'm going to work with it and make it nicer, but for now I'm just going to make a simple line and go see where it brings me. Everything is correctly, you see. And now I'm going to get nicely around this part, and he is nicely fitting inside of here. And we go down to this one and over here and this way, and the last line. And you see, this is how the bunny is looking like right now. Of course, I'm going to go back with my pencil and make a nice lines so I can easily see it when I need to jigsaw it, because I'm an old lady. I don't see, see in the dark because it's a little bit darker over there. So I'm going to go make sure that I have the lines I want to have over here. So I take my time for it, and then I'm going to saw it out, double it up and saw the other one out. So you see already how my bunny is turned out. Of course, I have two of them. What I'm going to do, I have here, before I'm going to paint it, I have here my box with my half wooden beads, but you also can use some cardboard. But I was thinking, if you don't have a jigsaw or maybe a handsaw, you can also make a simple silhouette of your cardboard. Just do it double layer, or else maybe a very thick cardboard. So you can use some cardboard. You can also, you don't have to do a bunny, you can do an Easter egg, you can do anything on the side you like, and you don't have to use a jigsaw if you don't want to, or maybe you are a little afraid of using it. Don't worry, just use some cardboard, it's also fine too. So what I'm going to do, I have here my half wooden beads, and I'm going to look for one for the nose. I think this is a great size for using for the nose, like this. So I'm going to make some faces later. I will make this one in the black color. Of course, I'm going to do the totally in the white color, but choose any color you like, I always say. And I'm going to do some a little beads on top of the corners because I like that. So I have the smaller beads over here, and just decorate it any way you want. So you can easily give it a more like a high-end look. So I did find my size, and I took a little bit of a bigger one because I want to give the corner a little bit more like a high-end look. So I'm going to do some glue on this one, place it on top, but make sure that you stay in between the ending, and then give it some pressure. You do here, you see already, you do here the same, some glue. And also this is easy to do with some cardboard. You don't have to use a wood. And again, over here, and give it, and you also can, I do it with some wood pieces, but you also can do, you have a kind of a sticker strips with some glam stones on top of there, so you can also give it a nice glam touch if you are more like a glam person. So you can do anything you like, just use your imagination because there are so many things you can do with it. So I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, and I make sure that I stay in place this way. And of course you can do over here, you can do one over here. I'm going to look for if I'm going to do also a couple of them over here. So this is how my little box turned out, and of course we're going to give it later some lettering on top of here, but that's later. First we're going to paint this. We're going to paint this one, and the bunny, of course, the ears will, of the nose will be a different color. I'm going to choose the white color, so I'm going to do something on my paper kitchen towel, and I'm going to paint everything in the white color. And I do it always one cover because I like a lot of you already know, the wood coming through. But if you like more like a covered look, then you have to do more coats if your paint is also not covering in one. But maybe you are lucky and you have paint which is covering in one time. So I'm going to paint the bunny, and it is very relaxing to do, so take your time for it. So you see already the bunnies are drying, and I have here my half wooden beads for the nose, and I'm going to paint this in the black schoolboard paint. So you see I laid my two bunnies on a piece of paper kitchen towel. I have here my pencil, it's just a simple gray marker. So I'm going to look for where I want to have his eyes. Of course a little bit over here and maybe over here. Just make a simple mark, you can easily wipe it away. because you always, at least I need a marker where I can place my paint, because or else it will be one disaster. So I'm going to look for where I'm going to have this one. It's a little bit over here. And of course this one over here. So I try to do them even. And then of course he will be the nose, but first I'm going to make my eyes, and I'm just doing the back side of my brush, and I'm going to get my schoolboard paint, just make a little dot, and I'm just going to dab it inside over here, and just make a nice piece over here. This one can be a little bit bigger, and you can make his eyes as big as you like. So I'm going to do this one also, and then we're going to glue the nose. So now I get one of my half wooden beads, and of course I do a little bit of the wood glue under here, and I'm going to try to place it exactly a little bit under his eyes, just like this. I do here the same, just a little bit of glue. And of course some people do the nose in the pink color. It's also fine to do whatever you think is fitting for your decor. Everyone has his own taste, so I'm going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So now I have my pencil, and I'm going to turn out my bunnies a little bit sideways. I make the line in between over here, and line down, and I'm going to go this way and this way to make a nice little mouth. I do here the same. You go in the middle, go a little bit down, and you go a little bit like this to make his mouth. And of course I'm going to get now my brush, a small brush, especially a real small one, you see, like this, and I'm going to make this in the black color. So now I made his eyes, nose and mouth, and I have here the red color. I'm doing a little bit of red on this with my white, so I'm going to mix in a little bit that I have some pink, a little bit lighter pink. So I'm going to mix this until I have the color pink I like, and then I'm going to dab it off because I'm going to give it a little bit of an pink cheeks. So I don't want to have too much, that's why I mix it as light as I can have it. Over here you see already it's one big mess, but it doesn't matter. That's the greatest about kitchen paper towel, you easily throw it away. And now I'm going to dab it off because I don't want to have too much on my bunny. So you see it looks strange, but at the end you will see that there are still coming a lot of, and this way. And of course it takes a little bit of your time. I don't know, I'm not really happy with the color which is coming. It looks like I'm going to take another brush. I'm going to take this one because you see already I painted with that brush, I painted black, and schoolboard paint is very difficult to get off of your brush. So now I'm going to try to make a little bit of a round over here and a little bit over here. And it's only, you have to see it lightly, don't make too much. This way. And I do the other one also, and then we're going to glue them on top of our tray. So now I have my tray, and of course I'm going to get my wood glue, and I'm going to glue some glue on this side, over here in the middle. And of course normally the wood glue would come out, but he doesn't come. It doesn't come out. This is just a DIY that you think everything goes wrong. So I'm going to look for what I can do to get it off, because he is really not in the mood. Yeah, there he is. He is not in the mood to glue. So I'm going to go this way, And I'm going to do it on the other side. Of course, over here. Make sure that everything has a nice layer of your glue. Place it down. And now we're going to get our bunny and we're going to place it exactly in the middle where we want to have it. Just look for yourself, and of course, you see in a moment the quick impression. And here you see finally a quick impression of my Tumbling Tower Blocks bunny tray. And of course, I'm so happy how this one turned out. And like I told you, I use wood for my bunny, but you also can, like I told you, use some cardboard or something else. Everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and hit the bell, so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. Everyone have an amazing day. See you in the next one. Bye.
Something good.